Hi, I'm Chris McEleny and I'm the Interim General Secretary of the ALBA Party. And today I'm here in Greenock, my home, and I'm standing in front of Scotland's tallest town tower. But beneath that is Greenock Town Hall, and that's the venue for our inaugural ALBA Party conference on Saturday the 11th of September and Sunday the 12th of September. That's Saturday the 11th and Sunday the 12th. And places are really selling out fast, so if you've not signed up for conference yet, be sure to go onto the link in your email that came with this video, sign up for conference, and I'll very much look forward to seeing you there. So on Thursday night this week, the conferences committee met, and I must say that we were very much blown away with the quality of motions that have been submitted to the conferences committee to review. You know, some 20 or so motions that may make the final draft agenda, which will be published next week, and there was another 40 or 50 motions that unfortunately didn't quite make the cut. And we'll of course be happy to provide feedback to anyone in terms of how we can improve motions going forward to try and get them onto a future conference's agenda. And of course I was also really overwhelmed by the amount of people that put themselves forward for election for our National Executive Committee. Now, the National Executive Ordinary Committee members, they'll be elected by our party delegates at conference. So there'll be more information about who the candidates are near the time of conference and how you can vote if you're a delegate. But in terms of our national office bearer elections, every single member, that's one member, one vote, you'll be entitled to vote on who you want your national office bearers to be to take their seats in that inaugural National Executive Committee. Now, some of the posts, they'll be elected unopposed because only one person got the required nominations. But we're going to have some really exciting elections in some of the other posts. Now, I'm very pleased and I'm indeed delighted that Alex Salmond, who was acting party leader, who took us through the elections, he's agreed to accept the nomination as party leader, and as the only candidate, he will duly be elected as the leader of the ALBA Party. And I think with Alex's leadership as former First Minister, the only person that's ever faced down a UK government and made them concede Scotland's independence demands and delivering us a referendum, I think we're not better suited than having Alex at the helm of the party to take us forward. But for the role of Deputy Leader, I'm pleased to say we will have a contest. Kenny McCaskill, one of our magnificent MPs at Westminster, he'll be contesting the deputy leadership against Michelle Ferns, Councillor Michelle Ferns of Glasgow City Council. And we're looking at the moment to arrange a hustings next week, so information will come out to you on how to watch that hustings, how to submit questions to our candidates. And I think, you know, we're going to have a great contest. It's really going to show the absolute volume of talent we have in ALBA going forward, the ideas we have for Scotland, the people we have that will take forward those ideas, the policies that we'll debate in Greenock Town Hall, and the plan we have for independence. So as you can see, I've been holding the ALBA for Independence Founder Member Pack, and that should be coming in your door today. Perhaps it's already arrived, but certainly over the next week, every one of our founding members will receive their founding membership pack, including their founder membership card. So I hope you enjoy it. There's some really interesting stuff inside this. Please get in touch, feel free to share on social media that you're a founding member of the ALBA Party, and of course keep encouraging your friends to join ALBA. We're Scotland's fastest growing political party. We are almost the third largest party in Scotland, and I think after the council elections next year, when I'll be trying to get many ALBA councils elected into that place, and indeed in council chambers across Scotland, I think ALBA will be one of the largest council groups in all of Scotland. So make sure you stay tuned for more information after conference and how you can come forward to be a council candidate and all the things that go in terms of assessments and vetting and selections for that. There'll be more information after conference, but I'm just giving you a bit of a pre-warning that's coming. So if you're interested in standing for the ALBA Party as a councillor, like myself and other councils across Scotland, then please think about it. Do some research, speak to myself and some of the other councillors. You may be lucky that you have an ALBA councillor in the area that you live in. They'll absolutely be delighted to speak to you about that, what the job of councillor entails, and hopefully you think that's something you can do well, and you'll be happy to stand with the ALBA standard, and we'll be seeing ALBA councillors getting elected as we continue to rise at the council elections next year. So on policy, I've moved a wee bit further down the hill, just closer to the square where Greenock Town Hall is, and something really important sits here. It's the Radical War Memorial for the 1820 Radical War. We had martyrs here in Greenock. The youngest was only 8 years old when he sadly lost his life during the Radical War. The protests that happened on this very square, which is next to where our conference will be held. And I'm really pleased that our conference is here because I think we have a really radical policy platform. And I think when you see the draft agenda, which will be published next week, you'll agree that ALBA certainly have the people, we have the plan for independence, and we will have the policies to take Scotland forward. Now, like any party conference, the draft agenda will be open to amendment. So if you want to submit an amendment to some of the great policy ideas we've got, there'll be details on how you can do that. Please take part, and then the Conferences Committee will review those amendments to include those in the final agenda, and that will be circulated shortly before conference at the start of September. In terms of the Constitution, again, a word I've used a lot today, I'm overwhelmed by the amount of people that have fed into that consultation on our Constitution. Some really good ideas, and some I think the Conference Committee will be able to take on board right away going forward in terms of the Constitution we put before members at our inaugural conference, asking them to endorse. But of course, some people may want to make some amendments to that Constitution, so you'll have the opportunity to do that as well. So we'll separate the process so that we can have the amendments on the policies, so we can, the big debates on independence and things like that, we can focus on those, and then there will be a separate period for amendments to the Constitution. So again, make sure you keep an eye on your emails, follow the information that comes out to you, and all of the information you require will all be there. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on Saturday the 11th of September and Sunday the 12th of September in Greenock Town Hall, just 20 yards down the hill there, and we're going to have an absolutely fantastic ALBA inaugural conference. And remember, if you've not signed up, every single member's entitled to register, so please snap up those last seats now, and I'll see you in Greenock next month.